I have the AC behind you. You cannot hear it, right?
No worries. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh and Jason Monday Christian Conspiracy Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Monday. If you don't know me, I'm a Christian rapper, devoted husband, father, and Army veteran. And we have a special guest for you today. We had Sam on last time, but this is probably like a year ago. But I had a bad mic, so I didn't have good audio. And I forgot what it's very hard to, I don't know, for some reason, I forgot his Instagram. I couldn't find him again. So I saw him on a lot of shows like Vika Drazev and Flatzoid. It's Creality now. Jesus saves. But yeah, I saw you on a lot of shows. So yeah, and you hit me up and kind of wanted to reconnect. So how's everything going, brother?
Everything is great. Feeling good, feeling strong today.
Feel good. It's good to feel strong for sure. Yeah. So there is some stuff that you. I mean, we can kind of talk a little bit about your the Dave Weiss files and stuff like that if you'd like, just a little bit, and
There's
then
nothing, yeah, nothing
get
much
into
to say.
the
It's just
Bible.
like it's just a video exposing, people in the Flutters community, including David Weiss. So it's going to, it's going a little viral. So again, it's called the Weiss File. If you want to check it out, it's a little heavy. It's an hour and 15 minutes. And it's very interesting. It's an eye opener. Everybody appreciates it. Flat earthers, Globers. So
I'm sure
that's
Glober's like it.
in. Yeah, that's interesting. Just just by yourself and just go see it. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, yeah. So
The
that's something that he worked on, put some time into. I personally, obviously, I have a relationship with Dave Weiss where he's always kind of whenever even when I first started as a podcast, this is just to give a positive side of Dave Weiss,
of
just
course, of
as
course.
in what I how I've dealt with him. Because anybody I've ever dealt with, that's how I kind of judge people, like as far as like, and I've never had any wrong encounter with Dave. And then also when I started out, I was only like 5 episodes deep, and I probably had like 100 subscribers. And he jumped on my show and boosted my subscribers up, and kind of helped people kind of find me. And then also whenever I ever have debates or like maybe like biblical cosmology shows, I send him a link to them, and then he places them on his site or his app, and then it kind of also assists and helping my show kind of grow and expand. So yeah, he's always been there for me. Never had any bad encounters with him, and he's never really like not been there. If I asked him, "Hey, can you jump on the show?" He's always jumped on the show, no matter how big my show has been or whatever. So he's always been there. Mark Sargent, same thing. When I started out, I had him on when I was like maybe episode, I don't even know what it is, maybe 80 or something. I didn't really have that many subscribers at that time either. Mark Sargent jumped on. And then I did a roundtable with Mark Sargent, allegedly Dave, and Dave Weiss, right? So I had them on, and man, I never really had anything bad with Dave Weiss. He's never said anything bad about me or to me. Now, do I believe that he should? I really, really want to assist him in getting closer to the Lord, and I think that is something that it takes time for some people that are conspiracy theorists that are not currently believe in the Bible, But I think slowly but surely people realize that there's a spiritual battle going on, and that our battle is not against flesh and blood, but principalities of evil, and that's what he's realizing right now. So the closer that you realize that is the closer that people will get to the Bible. So that's what I hope happens. And I'm sure you hope the same, Sam,
Of course,
hopefully.
I do, and I agree with you that it's we are living a spiritual war, more than a
Yes.
battle. It's like it's a full scale war.
Yes.
And but David Weiss, I respect what you said about him, and I'm also, I don't hate him, and I also appreciate him, and he's likable. He has a lot of qualities. Nothing can be, that cannot be taken away from him. But anyways, here this is not about judging
Yep.
somebody like personally. It's not about any personal matters. It's about more about like what his responsibility, towards the community. But anyways, we
Yep.
can now talk about the Bible. I thought you wanted to,
Let's do the Bible. Let's do the
talk
Bible.
about the snake or which actually it's kind of linked, but to the but the creation. Oh no, Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't know. Tell
Yeah,
me what
Sodom and
to.
Gomorrah. I was thinking. Well, first off, I want to know, uh, since we're talking about like Dave Weiss and the flat Earth community, just a little bit, like, what do we think like a shill would be? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to talk about that real quick because I have that in my notes. Like, do we think a shill? Like, what is our definition of a shill? Because I know that it's going around like like a lot. So
Uh,
a definition of a shill like would be like in a I looked it up, and it's basically like someone who pretends to be a real participant and to deceive others. For example, a person who pretends to win a carnival game to get others to play is kind of like an example of that. Is that what we think a shill would be in the flat Earth community? I mean, what do you think is a shill actor? Like a lot of people are saying there's shill actors in the community. What do we think that is?
For me, the way I understood it, a shill is someone that pretends to be what he's not. That's first of all. So, and the second thing is that, well, that cannot be harmful, unless you use that against the community or against, the people you manage to gain, the trust from and, admiration from. Because,
Okay.
at one point, popularity can be weaponized. You can use your popularity or I tell you, we were talking about like just maybe before that about the snake, and I
Uh-huh.
tell you a snake, is actually an animal, right? It's an animal, but actually it's an allegory. When we call someone a snake, it means
Allegory.
many things, and one of them is this one. A snake is not dangerous to the people that are far away from him. You don't care about a snake like a mile away from you, but a snake that is very close, is dangerous. So you can translate that by saying that a snake is someone that is dangerous to the close ones, to the ones
Uh-huh.
that are close to him. Like you say, someone that can come to you and say, "Oh, my brother, how are you, bro? You need something? I'm here for you." And it's close to you. And this is a snake that can play, that is friendly, but actually is not. Is an enemy. So that's one thing. After that, there's always different interpretations. But this is the first thing.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to develop this because I know we talked to you. You don't want to spread division and all that.
Yeah, I
So
just
I have
wanted to
no
see
no
what that.
problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what that would be for so people know because man, that term is getting thrown around a lot for a lot of people,
Yes,
different
exactly,
people.
exactly,
So all
exactly.
right, cool.
I thought it was a spy at first when I heard that word shell. I never heard that word. I used to live in the States. I never heard that, but
Yeah.
I thought it was like a kind of a spy. But it's more than that. It's someone that has double interest or something. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
someone that is
So
not that is out of place in his
all
community.
right.
Anyways,
All right, let's get to Sodom and Gomorrah. I think we would start at like what Genesis 18, right?
okay.
So let's get to that real quick because I saw that you commented on the video, which I appreciate. You said um I think you said something along the lines of that I appreciate what you're doing, but you believe that the two angels that are the two angels there were just men, right? Or messengers?
Well, this is what Hebrew teaches us. For example, an angel, what we call an angel in the
Trying to
Torah,
find the Blue Letter
it is
Bible.
it is called a malach in Hebrew.
Okay.
So it is translated as an angel because actually, in some case, that word malach is employed to talk about spiritual beings, and so that's kosher. That's no problem. But in other situations, a malach is an envoy, someone that is envoyed, that is like sent, in order to bring a message or to special mission. So at that point, how do I know? Because it's not just an opinion. It's that we investigate. We see what the text teach us. We see that the word malach is employed in the beginning when the two men were sent, like those two angels were sent by Yeshua to that city. But then after that, we see that these two people are called anashim, which is men, great men. So of course, you can you can ask yourself, why do they use those two terminologies to describe these people? But this is very, very acute, very, very precise. So at that point, they are like angels, and at one point when they come back, they are like human beings. Now I have to check that I don't confuse the timing, but I think that's what it is. So malach in Hebrew can be also a man, a
It
regular
could
man.
be, yeah, yeah. So it could be used as messenger, but it can also be used as an angelic
Yes,
angel,
of
right?
course.
So, do you believe that those two men were just men, or you don't believe that they were angels? They were just called messengers, like God sent messengers, like they were sent through God to come to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, I'm forced to believe that they were men, but if they are called uh, malachim, that means angels with the idea that there is something great and spiritual in them, So I believe that it might be because these two men were actually, given the not maybe the Holy Spirit or a very high spiritual, level. So that's why they can be called at one point Malar, because it's not just like two men, just like that come. They have like a special mission. That mission is just like it's not just like a military operation. It's a spiritual operation. It looks
It
like a
is, yeah.
military one because going around the city, 7 days blowing the trumpets there. It's not like a military operation. It's something spiritual. It's something like we have to translate. It happened, but there is there is ways to understand this, because this is the people of Israel could just come and just destroy the city like this. You don't have to play around like 7 days, and they have to do all
Oh,
these things.
that Sodom and Gomorrah, that they didn't walk around the
Oh,
city 7 days.
sorry, I confused with
It's
Jericho.
okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
know I know which one
Sodom and
that.
Gomorrah,
Yeah, the
Sodom and
Jericho
Gomorrah.
wall. Yeah, that one's the Jericho wall.
So,
So
so
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry, I
okay.
confused the two, because at one point there were three angels, because they came to see Abraham,
Okay, so
and
let's go
then
to Genesis
yeah,
18. Let's read real quick. So, do you want me? I can read in the we'll read in the, if that's all
yeah,
right.
of course,
The
of
New
course, of
King
course,
James, is that okay?
yeah, of course,
I'm trying to
whatever,
screen share, but what happened is my oh
no
man,
problem.
my
I got it here.
okay. Do you want to let me just make it so that you could
I have it here in Hebrew, no
yeah,
problem.
oh, you have it there in Hebrew. Okay. I'm just gonna read off of here. Sorry guys, I tried to screen share, but
Yeah, yeah.
I have to kind of look stuff up on my thing. I don't want
Genesis what?
Genesis
Genesis.
Genesis 18 would it would start. So
Okay, okay, no problem. Go ahead, I got it.
the interesting part, okay, so it says, then the Lord appeared by the territory of Mamre as he was sitting in the tent door in the heat of the day, right? And the Lord is
Yeah.
actually like Yahweh, right? That's actually that's or Adonai is what you would probably say as it, because you don't want to say Yahweh, right? So
Yeah,
um yeah, so Adonai appeared to him by the terebinth tree, and then he was sitting in the tent door in the heat of the day. So he lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, three men were standing by him. This is speaking of Abraham, saying that three men were standing by him. And when he saw them, he ran to the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the ground and said, "My Lord, have I found favor in your sight? Do not pass by your servant." So what's happening is he's having a conversation with the Lord here. That's what it's saying, right? And he appeared to Abraham, which I think is interesting. Do you believe that the like Yahweh could appear to people just like with Numbers 12 verses 4 through 8, where it talks about uh, the Lord being Yahweh, saying that he speaks to prophets in visions and dreams, but when he comes to Moses, he speaks to him face to face. Are you familiar with that verse?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with this. The point is that here in Hebrew, when he says "my Lord," he doesn't use the word
Mm-mm.
Yahweh. Like I don't have a
He
problem to
doesn't.
say.
He
He
doesn't.
doesn't. He use the word
But
Adonai, which is like "my lords" in the future, in the plurals form, "my
so what
lords."
about in when it says the Lord appeared to him by the terebinth tree? What is it right there?
So, so that's it. That's the first verse. It is
That's
said
Yahweh, right?
that yeah, exactly. This is Yahweh, that
Yeah.
it shows himself to him, appeared to him
Okay.
in the Holy Memory, in that place there. And it is said that at that point, we know in Judaism, but at that point, Abraham just was circumcised, and then he was like waiting. You have to wait like about 3 days until the pain goes out, just fades away. So it was just after he got circumcised. That means he was 100 years old at that point, and then God appeared to him. And
Hmm.
but after that, he looked up and he saw, and here are three men.
Yep.
So I don't know if this one is linked to the first verse, because the first verse is, and God appeared to him,
Uh-huh.
and now he says, and he looked up, and what appears to him now is not God, is three men.
Yes.
So I don't know. It
So
looks like a little weird,
it
like
looks
it's
like
not God.
it looks like God is appearing to Abraham as a man. Okay, this is what I'm thinking.
Uh,
Okay, the
there's three
reason
men
why
here. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
the reason why I think that is because later on down the line in the verse it says, and the Lord said to Aaron, why do I it talks about the Lord saying, like, since I know Abraham and I told him that he's going to have descendants, then why am I hiding from him? I might as well just basically show myself, like that's what happened.
Yes.
That's what I believe happened. So now in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, in Hebrews 13:2, what it says is You never know when you're entertaining an angel, or entertain strangers, because you never know when you're entertaining an angel unaware. Meaning that angels can come to earth in human form. That's what we see in the New Testament, right?
Of course,
Do you
of
guys
course,
believe that as well?
of course, of course.
Angels can come in human
Even
form.
the devil.
Of course. Yeah, I really believe that as well. Yeah, the devil
And
can. I believe
it's
that.
gonna come in a beautiful woman. It's gonna come in whatever you desire.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. So, where's it at? So I was reading it earlier, and the Lord said, Abraham. So the Lord is basically speaking to Abraham, and this is at even when he's talking with Sarah about Sarah and stuff, right? So Abraham hurried to the tent quickly. So the Lord, even after this conversation happens, basically Abraham is telling his wife to make food for them, right? Because he wants to show hospitality. The whole thing with Sodom and Gomorrah is, besides the fact that that they're going after strange flesh, or meaning, you know that Sodom, right? Sodomites, right? So besides that portion of them being gay and stuff like that throughout the city, is they're also not showing hospitality to people. That's another thing that happens. Like they're not doing exactly what Abraham
Well,
did right here.
well, the thing is that they were also hospitable in Sodom, but their distorted ways. That means that Sodom at that point was something like 51 or 52 years old. It was a young city among like another five cities that were placed around the Dead Sea. At the time, it wasn't the Dead Sea. It was an area where there was a lot of salt mines, but it was a valley. And the thing is that slowly, the city, just became like corrupted, up to the point it started with, what we call the, homosexuality, if I can say it. I don't know if it's like a bad word, I don't know. But, it started like this, and then slowly, the government in place, the power in place, installed it as something obligatory. You had to be like this
Gay,
in this city. So
like
there's no way that,
homosexual.
yeah, you had no way. There's no way that you can come in somebody that is straight. What is this guy? What do you think? You better than us?
Oh,
So you
you had
see,
to be
this
homosexual.
is
What?
yeah, this is the outcome of homosexuality. At the end, first of all, you accept them, and then you bring them in, and you give them, work, and then you respect them. Then it's forbidden to say, you're gay, and then you have to be gay. That's
Mhm.
the the
The
procedure.
order.
Yeah, exactly. This is where it goes. It doesn't stop at where we are
Do,
now. It goes further.
do you think that Lot was gay?
No, I don't think so. But I know that Lot
He had a
was
wife.
not like it was not like everyone. Oh yeah, but gays have wives too. It's sort of a problem.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
have wives,
I was just asking because I was just wondering because I heard you say that they all had to be. Okay, cool. All right, so
but
I'll go ahead.
no, just to tell you something about Lot. Um, I'm gonna dive a little deep with you in the Bible if you want. Check it out. You see in the Torah it is said that you need like 2 to 3 witnesses in order to establish a fact.
Hmm.
Okay, that's also valid when you investigate in the Torah. You need like 2 or 3 clues in order to establish a theory, an idea. So the thing is this, you see, in the Torah, stories, come back. Like time tends to come back all the time, and always in different stories with different actors in different movies, different times and places, but the same story comes back. So now check it out. There is a word in Hebrew that you cannot know because you don't read in Hebrew. There is a word in Hebrew that is called Vayanecheu, which means and God took him out of Sodom, and he placed him out of Sodom. Now the thing is that that word is only repeated once, in the Torah, to talk about Adam, the first man, and it says, and God, Vayanecheu, and he took him
Out of
and
the
he placed
garden.
it yeah, and he placed
Yeah.
him. No, it placed him in the garden.
Oh, in the garden.
So
Okay,
we,
I'm sorry.
so we don't know where from, but he placed him, in the garden. So out of this already we have we are allowed to believe that there is a link between these two actions. Why? Because the same word is being used, and the Torah is not like a newspaper. It's not like, you understand. So the thing is that why do you use that same word here and there in order to make a link between those two actions? But for now we don't have much. We have to dig deeper. Now in Genesis, in the Eden Garden, God is called by two names, Yod Kevavke Elohim. So it's like two sides of God, or two
Yeah.
names of God. So here we see that there are two angels that take Lot out of Sodom. So here I have two witnesses that tell me, hey, there was a link between what happened to Adam and what happened to Lot. Then the third witness is the number of Lot, the gematria, we call that. That means the value,
Gematria.
the numerical value of the name Lot. It's 45, which is exactly that of Adam, 45. So here I have three clues, indications that tell me, hey, you know what? The story of Adam is like the story of Lot, but doesn't make sense because we know that Adam was formed out of the soil of the of the earth. So we have to understand all that. There are more to it than just like that allegory that says that God formed man out of the mud. So the thing is that why do I say all this? In order to tell you why maybe it is the name of Malachim, the name of angels, is being used in the story of Lot, in order to tell you that those people that came in actually reflect, the two faces of God, or the two principal precepts of God that did, act when Adam was also taken out of somewhere
Mhm.
into the Eden Garden. But they're
Okay.
just like, Jewish
Oh,
complex reasoning. Just
okay.
to tell you why maybe they are called malachim, or they are called angels and not men. Just to make a link with something else. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, and then so if you go to Genesis 18 verse 16, now it's our title, I don't know about yours. It says Abraham intercedes for Sodom, right? So it says then the men rose from there and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to send them on their way. And the Lord, once again it's Yahweh, said, "Shall I hide from Abraham? What am I doing?" That's the part I'm talking about. Since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, to all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. For I know him, in order that he may command his children and his household after him, that they keep the way of the Lord to do righteous and justice. So what he does is he basically now he's talking to him like, hey, I'm not just a man, I'm the Lord. And it says, and the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom. So now they're talking.
which verse is that?
This is going to be the verse is going to be Genesis 18. It starts at 16, right?
Okay,
So
okay, I get you.
so what it is it stops from him talking to Sarah about Sarah getting pregnant, Sarah laughing, that whole portion of it,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So then it goes down. Basically, Sarah provided a
You,
meal for them, made a
you,
meal.
you see in that verse 16, this is what they are called men,
Yeah, then the
not
men rose.
angels. Yes,
Yeah, it
exactly. That's
says,
a good
then the
translation.
men rose from there and looked towards
Yeah,
Sodom. And then
yes,
Abraham went to them to send them on their way. And the Lord said, now this is
yes,
Yahweh again.
yeah, yes. This is
Shall I
Yahweh. Yeah,
hide from Abraham? What am I doing? Meaning, I believe, meaning that he was appeared as a man. And then he's saying, you know what? Shall I hide from Abraham? What am I doing? And then,
exactly.
so one of those three men is Yahweh. The other two are angels. That's what I believe.
It's
Actual
possible.
angelic angels.
It's possible because I tell you what, it's possible because at one point we see that it starts with like three angels, and then it ends up with like two angels, so two men. So there's one
Okay.
that disappeared somewhere
So you
somehow.
believe Yahweh God can come into as a form of a man.
No, because at that point, God is not. Is not. I tell you how God works. All over the Torah, all over the place, all the time. What He does, He comes down. You know,
Yeah.
uh, to the maximum way He can come down, because there are things that God
Yeah.
cannot do, and this is the big thing. God cannot do everything He wants because He has laws and he respects his laws. So when people are going to say, yeah, but God can do anything, no, he cannot, because again, he respects his laws. You see, for example, if I have a gun, I can kill, theoretically, I can go and kill anybody, but I cannot because I don't want to. You understand? So of course you would, I will never do that. So the thing is that what he does, he comes down and he takes a prophet like Abraham, because don't forget that Abraham is also a prophet and
Yeah.
he's called a
Of
prophet in the
course.
Torah. And then he comes down and he uses him in order to express himself and to say things, just like he does with Moses.
He's
Like, God always need somebody else here on this earth, because how can I put that? He's too
an
pure.
No one can
If he
age
came
it.
here, everything will just like explode. It's like if you put like 10,000 volt into a cell phone, everything's gonna melt. You understand? So it's the same thing. If he comes here so pure that the matter cannot, resist him. So he
Okay.
comes down to the maximum, and then it take another man. But he can appear in a dream. He can appear as anything. Yes, this
Oh,
is true.
so do you believe that this is a vision that he's coming to Abraham in?
I don't want to say yes or no because I didn't really study that in that sense. But I
Yeah.
believe, of course, a lot of times in the Bible, they don't tell you, okay, from here it starts a vision and then here's reality. It's mixed up. Sometimes you have things that you don't understand. It sounds crazy, but actually it's because it is a dream, and you
Oh,
can understand it's a dream. But when it is said, that's why the first verse when it says "Va'ira elav Adonai," that means that and God appeared to him. It can be, of course, in a vision. You
so
understand? So
you
that
don't.
means all this can be a vision. We don't know. I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
say yes or no.
I
But I
take
don't.
I
Go
take it I
ahead.
take it as I take it for what the Bible says, and I understand that there's probably laws that you feel that God has, but I believe that God can appear as a man. That's what the text is saying. So that's the only thing that I could say. I
Well,
don't put my own
no,
thing
no
on it.
problem. But the text is saying also that Judah is a lion, so it doesn't go on four
So
legs.
you mean like
It says that.
allegorically? Yeah, I understand something,
So,
but
it's a mixture. So that's why the Torah is great because it mixes the dreams and the reality, and this completes this. When you don't understand things in reality, just you jump to the dreams. When you don't understand things in the dream, you go down to reality. So this is very very acute. But there are ways to know. There are ways to know if you're talking here about a dream or about a vision
how do
or
we
about
know?
so I tell you how do we know. For example, I give you an example on something that I know that I studied because this passage I didn't study it that way. You remember the passage where Moses kills the Egyptian?
Yep.
Okay, so he kills the Egyptians, puts him under the sand there, and that's the end of the story. And then he just run away, right? So how do I know this was a vision, a dream, and not reality? I didn't know that. It's by investigating that you understand that. There's a first thing. First of all, when he starts talking, he uses again a word that is being used only once before by Jacob when Jacob wakes up from his dream. When Jacob dreams about a big ladder there, and he wakes
Jacob's
up and
ladder.
says,
Yeah.
of course, I didn't know that, God was, or indeed, like, let's say, indeed, God is here. I didn't know that God was here. And that same word, like, indeed, is being repeated, when Moses starts speaking. So the thing is that, wait a second, I forget
No
to
worries.
turn down my phone. So the thing is that, again, the Torah is not a regular book. It's not a bestseller. It's not a newspaper. It's everything. Every letter, every word is carefully written. So when you see that Moses, when he starts talking, he uses the same word that when Jacob starts talking, when he wakes up from his dream, we can start understanding that this is a dream, but it's not enough yet to make sure. Then you have other things. For example, again, you need like two witnesses, right? So when Moses sees the Egyptian prince or the Egyptian man, it's called Ish Mitzri in Hebrew. We know that a few verses later in that same story, Moses is himself called the same thing, Ish Mitzri, a prince, an Egyptian prince. So that's a second thing that says, okay, there is a link between Moses and that man that he kills. But again, this is not understand. We cannot understand it yet. But then you can see that the value of Moses is the same value of the Egyptian that he kills. Hamitzri in Hebrew is 345, and this is 345. So that means here we have two witnesses that say actually that he killed himself. He killed who he was. And so it doesn't make sense if you believe it's physical, and it's not physical. So the thing is that the Torah explains us between the lines how to read it and how to deduct that story is much bigger than just man killing somebody else and putting him in the sand and just running away. That's for for kids. No problem. It's all right. But if you really want to understand, you have to go deep, to dive deep. So now, since we know that, and since we know that he might have dreamt, so we understand that actually through our rabbis that comment that thing. At that time, Moses was the king of Egypt. And what happened is something happened that he suddenly realized who he was, and he killed the Egyptian that Pharaoh, managed to make out of him all these years. He realized how serious that was what he was doing, how bad it became, that he decided, okay, stop, I gotta go. And in his dream, he actually realized that people were going to talk to Pharaoh about him and were going to denounce him. So we don't know all the details, but roughly now we have a better idea of what happened there. You
Mhm.
understand? So again, I know it's hard for me to for you to accept it because it's like it's a little
No, no, no.
deep, but the thing is that this is how we learn. But one thing is sure, what is written literally, it's good for you not to forget the story, but it's not enough for you to understand it. You understand? It is wrapped into mysticism in order to be kept intact through time. If I want to explain you, like, again, nuclear physics with formulas, you're not going to remember the formulas. But if I dress it into a story with a king and a queen and snake, then you're going to remember the story. You can say, "Whoa, what a story!" Understand? But then you're going to have to decode it at the end. We're going to have to understand all these things because, again, and the last thing I let you talk. The thing is that by believing, the stories the way they are written, literally in the Bible, it is like reducing the Bible to a book we don't need. What do we care about a man on a boat with, like, elephants and horses or whatever in a boat like 4,000 years ago? It's a nice story, but the Greeks also have like mythology. So it's not about a man in a boat with animals in it the way we think. It's much, much, much. The story is much greater than that. So we have to investigate. It's not animals. There was no animals in there. But anyways, it's again, it's like it destabilizes all our beliefs, all our basic, understanding. And I know that it's not easy. It's like it's just like with flat Earth. When you understand that they never went to the moon, there is no space, you say, "Whoa, wait!" But when you pass that thing, then you're capable of understanding different things in the Torah. Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry, I
so you
took the
believe
mic.
that? So do you believe
Yes.
that Genesis 18 is? So do you believe that the whole Genesis 18 is a vision?
I think it's possible. I don't know. We don't believe much. I'm not like a kind of a believer,
Uh-huh.
except in God, because I cannot define God, so I have to believe in Him. But all these texts can be explained, can be investigated. So I don't know. It's possible, but I know one thing is sure is that God won't come into a physical being. You can give him food and he can sit down with you. That's not possible. This is known. An angel, yes,
Well,
an
where
angel can do that, but
can
not God. God doesn't do that. Yeah.
okay? Can I ask you where are you getting? Are you getting that information that you're saying to me from the Bible,
First of all, from the
from the
the
Torah?
written from the written Torah.
Does
I'll
the
tell you
Torah?
something.
Hold on. Like, are you getting? I'm talking about like the part where you're saying that God cannot appear as a man. Where does it say that
All
in
over
the
the place,
Torah?
all over the place,
In the Torah.
in the Torah, all over the place. Every time God appears, it's never physical.
All right. Well, right here in the
What
Torah,
tells you that it's physical?
what I'm asking is because in the Torah, like I know that in Numbers
Go ahead.
12 verses 4 through 8, like can we go to that one real quick? Because he says that
Which one again?
Numbers
18.
Numbers 12
Oh,
Numbers
Numbers
12
12.
verses
Okay,
4
wait
through
a
8. Yeah.
second.
So
Let
it's
me check
basically
it out.
yeah, what it is like to speak from what I'm seeing. So it's basically Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, right? Uh, and what happened is Aaron and Miriam are asking like God, like, hey, what's so special about Moses? Why don't you treat us the same way, right? So it says,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, come out and you there from the tabernacle of meeting. So the three came out. Then the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. And they said, hear now my words. Then he said, hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision, which you're talking about. So
Mm.
if there's a prophet out there, I come to him like in a vision, right? Okay, so
Yes.
that's kind of what you're talking about, which I understand.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But he says, not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house, right? I speak with him face to face, is what it says here. I don't know what it says in
Yes.
the Hebrew. Even
It is
plainly,
face
and
to face.
and
Yes.
not dark and not dark sayings. And he says he sees the form of the Lord when they were not afraid to speak against my servant Moses, right? So
Yes.
we'll just leave it there. So he's basically saying that I come to prophets in visions
Yeah.
and in dreams, which is
Hmm.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But with Moses, he says he speaks to him face to face. I'm not saying
Exactly.
that he's I'm not saying that he's I wanted to ask about that because
That's a
you
good
know
point. That's a good point.
yeah, face to face.
But I'm going to tell you something. In order to understand something and to establish a fact, you have to investigate all over the place, not just like find one thing and say, "Oh, hey, that's it. I
Uh,
understood." No, no. I
Exodus
tell you.
33, Exodus
So,
33:11. Hold on. Exodus
yeah, go ahead.
33:11. Let's go there real quick. Exodus 33:11. I believe that's it. Uh,
23:11,
no, no, 33:11.
Exodus 33:11.
All
Okay.
we'll start at 10. All the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose and worshiped, each man in the house in his tent door. So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face as a man speaks to his friend. And he would
Yes.
return to the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, the young man, did not depart from the tabernacle. So that's two times that it's mentioned that he speaks to Moses face to face,
Yeah,
right?
many times it's written, not twice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
many times, panim al panim is face to face. Yes,
So
exactly.
the reason
But
why I was asking about
yeah.
Abraham, because it's kind of similar where it says that he appeared to him. Now, does it mean that the Lord appeared to him? But it seems like he was in a form of a man. And the reason why I asked that obviously is if the not saying that it was a literal man. I just want to know what your perspective is on it because it gets really interesting to me, you know?
No, I tell you, when you find a verse like that that seem to lead you to a conclusion that it can, it's physical. Moses look at the face of God. You have to look at all the other verses because at
Oh
one
yeah.
point God tells him,
He
"You
can't see
cannot
his
see my
face.
face
Yeah, yeah,
because it's going
yeah.
to die." So it doesn't make sense. Here it says, face to face, and here it says, "You cannot see my face because you'll die." So
Yeah.
so either he sees his face because at that point Moses is dead, and it then comes back. Like people that are like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you
so
mean.
it's possible that he's in a state of death at one point, and this is when he sees, God. This is possible. I don't know. I didn't check it out. But one thing is certain is that again, the face of God cannot be seen. It's
Um,
like it has to stay, spiritual. It has to stay like, it cannot be defined because when you see your face, it's defined. See the eyes, you see everything is defined. So by saying I see the face of God, it is defined. But the thing is that it is not written in the Torah that he sees his face. He talks face to face. It
um,
might mean different things.
um.
I don't know, but you
I'm just
catching me on
curious.
something I didn't
I'll
investigate
prepare
on
for.
this.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it just turned into this, so it wasn't even like I was prepared. I'm
No,
sorry.
no
Like
problem. But that's
it,
a great point. That's a great
it,
point. But
it kind of it kind of just gets in. It just kind of interlayered into this. But yeah. So I that's why when I was going over the Genesis 19, Sodom and Gomorrah, and it said that the three men, and then I kind of was reading through, and I'm like, oh well, it also talks about that God was one of those three men. Not saying that he was in physical form, whatever. I'm just saying he was one of those three men, and he was like, "Why am I doing this? I know, I'm gonna appear to him as the Lord now." So kind of starts talking to him, and then all of a sudden they go into, and then it starts out in Genesis 19. Sodom's depravity is what it says in the title. Now the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting at the gate. Right. So now we have what I believe are two angelic angels coming in the form of men. I think that you believe that they're messengers or agents of God, but they're just men, right? So something
but
does happen that is supernatural though with these angels, right? So
there have to be angels in the form of men. They cannot contact you, sit down
oh
with
no,
you, talk to you. They
and
have to be
eat
like you. You
and eat
understand?
and drink. Yeah, I think that they're definitely angels in the form of men. Do you believe that these are angelic
No,
angels in the form of men?
it's very possible. I don't know
Okay.
what to believe because I don't have enough information to to
Yeah,
think
yeah,
with.
yeah.
But the thing is that it's very possible. There's no problem with this.
Because it could be
Uh,
taken both ways. Because Sam, when I was looking it up, because I was looking into it, I was like, well, because that word angels, like you said in Hebrew, it could just mean men. So I'm like, okay, it could be men, but I believe they're angelic. I did look up Jewish commentary, and it says yes, they believe they were angelic, but not all, I guess, because I don't know. There has to be some sect of people that would believe that they were just men. And I looked up obviously scholars and stuff, even though we don't, I'm not saying that you should always go with scholars or anything, but they believe that they're angelic. I just was wondering your take on it, like if you
but
believe that they're.
I tell you something. I know that you like floods a little bit. You like to investigate in the Bible, and you do it. it's amazing. I'm I'm having a lot of fun, to see how you invest yourself to understand things. And this is what we Jews do also with the Torah. The thing is that I've been thinking a lot about also investigating in the Bible and understanding things. And I came to a point that there is so much to understand that I will never have the time to understand everything that there is to understand. It's crazy. So the thing is that at one point I made a choice to say, I said to myself, I'm going to understand only what I need to understand to help my generation. Because you see, if you talk about angels and demons and, like whatever, it's beautiful. It's like, whoa. But the thing is that why do you learn that? If there are like different worlds of demons and angels, which I believe there is, I have no problem. But what do I care about that now? Now I'm here in 2025 on Earth in Israel. You in where, I don't know where,
Southern
but
California.
Southern California,
Yeah, Southern
and
California.
the thing is that we have these books. We have our will to understand them. So what can come out of this? So the thing is that I'd better concentrate on what's the most important I have to understand to help my generation, more than like understanding everything that that's fun to me for me to understand, because then I will only think about myself, not about the others, because the point of learning is to teach people. When you acquire knowledge, when you acquire, an understanding of something, what do you do with it? Just like that's it? No, you have to help people, understanding too. And this is what Abraham actually was doing. When we said that he was like giving food to people,
Uh-huh.
again, it's like also an allegory, because he was doing this like all people in Middle East, very hospitable. But
Yeah,
the thing is that it was also helping people to understand, and that
yeah.
was the hardest thing to do, because when you want to give food to someone that's hungry, it's easy. You want to give money to someone that needs money, it's easy. Here, take the money and thank you, goodbye. But when you have to give something to someone that needs it bad, but that refuses it, that doesn't want to take it, I said, no, no, I don't need it. But here's the medicine. It costs only like 10 cents, but it's going to save you. But no, I don't want to. And you have to fight with him to help him. This is very, very tough. And everyone was good at this. It was
Yeah.
very good.
So the reason why I like this, I believe that all scripture is inspired by God. First of all, second of all, and I want to know God, right? So that's right. But also, like, since we believe as Christians that that obviously we believe that God came in the form of flesh, right, which would be Jesus. So this would help people to understand that the Lord appeared to Abraham right here, right, as a man, as says in the Bible. I know that we could take it as a vision, but some people would say, so it does help. That assists people to understand, like, wow, God can come in the form of a man. And then later on, we do believe that Jesus came in the form, obviously God in the flesh would be Jesus, right? So that would definitely help people in that way. And then also to know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, like, I think it's vastly important, because you're seeing that the Lord, as you continued on in this story, that it says the Lord sent from the Lord fire and brimstone on. When do you ever see that in the Bible or in the Torah, where God is actually destroying a city like that? Now, God does destroy cities, like, sending in the Israelites, army to go and maybe destroy a city, surround a city. And then he also talks about killing all the men, women, and children of a tribe. Yes. But when do you see God coming down on the earth, speaking to Abraham, sending two angels to confirm that they are doing what was reported to him, which is what it says? And then he actually sends fire and brimstone to that city. He goes and saves Lot, his wife, and his kids, and takes them out, and then comes down to the earth and sends fire and brimstone down on the city. This is vastly important, because we need to make sure that we know what's going on in that city, why God would do such a thing, because we don't want him to do that to Rialto. That's what city I live in. We don't want him to do that to Israel either, right? Which he wouldn't. I'm just saying, for example.
The thing is that the ways God punishes is one thing, and the reason why if he's punishing is also something else. That means that when you look at what's written, those are the same reasons why God brought the flood onto the earth to exterminate the population there, and when he acted with Sodom, it was the exact same sin. How do I know that before the flood, the big problem was also sexual disorder? Because it is clearly written. It is written that all flesh had corrupted its ways. That means the flesh doesn't go according to their ways.
Uh
They're
huh.
not made men and women go together, it's the way it should be. But when two men go together, two women, or man and a beast go together, this is not their
What
ways.
about a
It's not
woman and an angel?
a woman and an angel.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. Also,
Well, can
it's
you go
I
to
don't know.
Genesis 6 real quick?
Yeah,
Genesis 6.
I know what it says, but the thing is, when you say the sons of God, this Bnei Elohim, you can see also that it refers to the dynasty of Adam, which are called also, the
Sons of
worshippers of
God,
God.
sons of God
Yeah,
in the Old Testament.
yeah.
Can you show me somewhere where sons of God
Okay,
doesn't mean
wait a
angels?
wait a second.
But children of God, yeah, but like actual Benai Elohim. Can it
Well,
mean
the thing is that the child of God, for example, if you have someone like you and I, for example, we are God believers. Even if you believe it, your way, my way, we can be called, children of God
of
because we
course,
believe in God.
but
So
adopted children of God? We're actually sons of
so
Adam, aren't we? Not and not sons of God?
so you have to understand something.
All
There
right,
are
good.
two dynasties in the beginning of our cycle of time. You have the man Adam, you have the snake, and you have the woman. Out of this come out two people, Cain and Abel. Now the thing is, what most people don't understand or don't take the time to investigate is that the guy that we call the snake is a man. And how do we know it's a man? Because he's punished. So if he's punished, that means he's responsible. If he's responsible, that means he has a free, will. And if he has a free will, he's a man. God does not punish animals. He doesn't talk to animals, say, oh, you bad cow, He doesn't say that. It's a man. And a man whose name was erased and replaced by the name of the snake, which is the animal that fits the best its nature. You understand? So the thing is that you have to understand something. You have two dynasties: the dynasty of Cain, which are called Bnei Adam in the Torah, and not Bnei Adam, Bnei Adam, and you have the dynasty of Shet, which is the son of Adam, which are called Bnei Adam. Those ones worship God. Those ones are rebels against God. And what happened at one point is that they mixed up. You have six kings. Again, I'm not gonna just take
Oh,
too
I know
long
what
to
you're talking
explain
about.
it.
It's the sons of Seth and then the sons of Cain
They
intermingled.
mixed. They mingled, and it was a
Uh,
disaster.
yeah,
And
that's one
that's
interpretation though, of this.
well,
That's one interpretation. The other interpretation would be that they would actually be
yeah, of
angels
course. You can say that. You can look.
because
You can
Nephilim came,
believe
right?
anything.
Are
The,
Nephilim? What do you
the
think Nephilim are like? Or do you think that Nephilim are giants?
It's certainly giants. I don't know if it's
Okay,
physical giants or spiritually giants or
okay,
knowledgeable people. But Nephilim comes from the term Nophel in Hebrew,
Earthborn,
which is
right?
like
Earthborn.
no, no, no,
To
Nophel,
fall, to
yeah,
fall.
the one that fell, the one that
Okay,
fell. So that means that maybe the great people like great priests or I don't know, like prophets or something that just corrupted themselves. It's possible, but I didn't learn that. I know why I didn't learn that because I was never interested into knowing like mysticism and things. But again, hey,
okay.
you have to learn whatever you like. It's not a
Can
big deal. But I cannot say
let,
much about
let
that.
me ask
Yes,
you a
go ahead.
question about okay, so that you were saying that you believe that a man basically that the serpent is a man, right?
Oh yes,
And
that's this is not a belief. Yeah,
the man slept with Eve, Eve had Cain, right?
Eve had actually three sons, but two of them are known. It is
Se-
called. It is so. It is. That's why it's important to read in Hebrew and to investigate in Hebrew because we know that Abel and Cain were twins. Now there is a very important thing to understand. Do you know that it's possible, and even today it's possible, there are cases, like 10 cases in the world, I think, where a woman can be impregnated
Triplets
and
with
have like two
two
children from two
yeah,
different men.
yeah.
This is something basic in the Torah to understand. It happens, once in a million, I don't know, but it happens. And there are, actually actual cases today. It went on the news, it's not a secret. But most people don't know that. So here you have two men, one woman, and two kids. And those two kids were born together. Why? Because it is said once that she became pregnant and she gave birth to Cain, and then she kept on giving birth to his brother, to Abel. But it doesn't say that she got pregnant again. So it's one pregnancy and two births. So that means they are twins. Now, how do we know they are false twins? They're not real twins, because right away the Torah tells you that they have a totally opposite nature. One is going to be like a farmer, and the other guy is going to be like a pastor, which is like two opposite nature. So they're not real twins. And when you investigate, you understand that the snake is the one that came also. Our rabbis also say that is the one that also mate with Eve, and within 3 days, you can mate with a woman. Two men can mate with a woman, and she can be pregnant with two children.
Okay.
So Cain, we know it, by many ways, that it is the son of the snake,
Oh,
and Abel is the son of Adam,
can I
and
ask you a
we
question?
prove that by
So,
many ways. Yes, go ahead.
so Genesis 4. Can you go to Genesis 4 for me?
Okay, Genesis 4. Where
Yes.
is it? Genesis 4. Okay. Okay,
What,
shoot. What do you
can
got?
you read the first? It says, "Now Adam knew Eve, his wife," which
Yeah,
means he went into
not
Eve.
Adam.
Uh,
Ha Adam. Big
Okay.
difference. I know that.
So Adam,
I know it. I'm going to drive you crazy, but okay. Let's say, you know what? Let's say Adam, so it's easy for you.
okay. Now
And that
Adam
new is yeah,
knew his wife Eve. Let me see. I could go to the complete Jewish Bible to see
yeah.
what it says. And she conceived and bore Cain and said, "I have acquired a man from the Lord," right? And that's Yahweh.
Okay, yeah. The name is Yahweh there.
So,
Yes.
all right. So, do you think that Yahweh gave them a son through the serpent, or do you think it
Uh,
came from Adam?
no, because the what she says actually it's very hard to understand. It doesn't say that God make her pregnant.
No,
It
no,
says
no. That's not what I mean.
actually.
That's not what I
Okay,
mean. What that means
okay.
is I have acquired a man from the Lord, meaning that God
Uh,
blessed the, it's like the God would bless whatever that is.
Uh,
Adam
uh,
knew
so,
Eve.
so the translation is not exactly correct. The first word she says in Hebrew is kaniti, which means you can translate that by I bought. Liknot in Hebrew is to buy. Now there's also a nation of to be jealous of, to envy. Kina in Hebrew is envy. So it's a very hermetic language. It's not something that that word has many angles.
It
But
can mean
let's say
acquisition, though, right? Like,
yeah,
it could be
yes, it
acquisition,
can
right?
be when you acquire, when you buy. Kaniti is notice with money. I bought with a price, not something that I took for free. So I bought a prince or a man, but et Hashem, it can mean with God, but also against God. That word is being used at, for example, in the war, when you have like four kings against five kings, and it says four kings at Ahamesha, against the five. So at actually can be can say that she used God for, but against God's will. You understand? It's like, I'm going to say again, but something that might be disturbing. But when Dinah was taken by Shrem, it is said that he slept with her, but it says et. That means it's against her will. If it was according to what she wanted, the word will be im. If you say im, that means the two parts do agree. If you say et, one agrees and the other one doesn't want to. Sometimes it is said that Israel went to war with the Philistine people, but it's written im. That means the two of them wanted war. But if it's written et, that means that only one of them wants war, not the other. But they have to go anyways, but
Mhm.
against their will. So it's very, very, very fine. It's very hard to understand what she meant. But I know that God is involved into that, because she clearly says the name of God, and that she did something. She used God against what was written. It's like it's possible to do that. You can use the Torah against the Torah. You can use the Jews against the Jews. And you can use the words of God against God. That's no big deal. Many civilizations and religions are doing this, for centuries and decades and thousands of years. So you can use what's good against what's good. That's
All
not
right.
no big deal.
So,
So something is being done here. That she said she slept. Actually, if it's true that she slept with a snake, so of course it was something that was not meant to happen. So she did something, and I believe that she explains that here. And the name Cain means, also
Gain.
kina, which means
Like,
envy, jealousy.
um,
Cain is that, the fruit of jealousy, of envy. And actually it confirms, what happened, because she envied, she wanted that fruit there. She wanted that fruit from that tree there. It was nice, it looked good, was wow. It was a question of like envy and maybe jealousy also, but we don't know, at that point, what does that
when
mean really? Go
okay,
ahead.
so that word Adam right there in Genesis 4, it's different. It means like this means man. It doesn't mean like Adam
And
like in particular.
okay, your question is good, but the answer is going to be it's going to be long. Let me put it like this, so you understand. Do you believe that God is just in everything? Is like perfectly just, and there's no flaws in His justice.
Yeah,
Everything
I
okay.
do.
So of course, so do I. So the big problem that I had at one point when I started learning the Torah, I said, I don't understand why God listens to Adam, then listens to the woman, to Eve, and punish the three people, the snake, Eve, and Adam, without even asking the snake, why did you do that? What did you do? Because even though if it's a murderer, if it's a killer, if it's like a rapist, God has to give him a chance to explain himself. If you just like the way God is. So that was bothering me. And actually, when you investigate, you understand that uh, three people were punished at that point by God, but also three people are answering God. So when you investigate the first one, when God says, "Where are you?" and then Adam, the one that we know, Adam, answers and said, "Look, I realized I was, naked, and I was ashamed, and I just went and hid in the trees." Okay, that's the first guy. Then God keeps on talking to that first guy, to Adam, and said, "How come you knew that you were like, naked? Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from?" And then the snake answers, not Adam, because the snake knows that now the heat is coming towards him. So he anticipates, he jumps in the conversation, he cuts Adam and he says, "No, the woman that you put next to me, she gave me the fruit." It's not the same man. The first one is like humble. He's like, "Oh, I was scared. So that I was, and I hid." But the other one is like accusing God and accusing the woman. "No, the woman that you put next to me, she gave me." Is not the same guy. However, he's called also Adam, and most especially Ha-Adam. So say, wait, so the two guys have the same name? Yes. So that's why God listened to what the snake had to say, and then he could punish him. Now, how do I know that there were at least two men and not just one that was created? Because just like God says, it says, let's us make a man,
Let us
and
make man in
they,
our image.
yeah, and then what did he say? He said, and they should, you know, dominate the animals and the fishes and everything. They, not him. So there are more than one. Then I think in Genesis 5, it is written that God called them Adam. The day he created them. So there are two guys, not one. And everything, it's something, there's a rule in the Torah, everything goes by two. Everything is being created by under the sign of the duality. Only God is one. Everything else goes by two. Two eyes, two, man and a woman, the good and the bad, the evil, day and night. Everything goes by couple. Everywhere. It's a pattern. So the thing is that there are more than one man that were created. So I know that it might destabilize the nice idea that we have. Oh, there was Adam in the garden and they were naked and they ate a fruit. That's, basically true. But it's like, it's the package. You're just looking at the package, not what's inside. You understand? So the it's good for children to remember that story, and that's the point, I guess. For people to understand that and not to and to remember the story, not to understand the story. Sorry, that means that it is made to protect the truth. Mysticism protects the truth through time, so it cannot be altered. And that was the job of the Jews so far, to protect. The Jews are not, investigators, thinkers. They're just like, guardians. They're guardians of the truth. That's all they are. and they succeed into like bringing those books, unaltered, intact from the beginning, and that's great because now we can learn them. And I believe that when I see people like you that is not Jewish, that also wants to understand the truth, and doesn't matter what you believe, that it doesn't matter. The thing is what you are, not what you believe. Because if you're looking for the truth, it's just a question of time until you find it, or until the truth finds you. So it doesn't matter if we're wrong on some things, but it's just a question of time until we will correct our thoughts. So the thing is that is what you are. If you really want to understand the truth and you want to you to dig in, this is what's valuable. This is what gives you your value. Because today people don't care. Who cares about these things? People care about money, about fun. They don't care about this. You understand? So people like you and I that are thinking about this, investing our time, our money, our health into this. Somehow it's a kind of a blessing that we can do this in our time. So
it's interesting. So you believe in so you believe that basically God created two men, one woman?
At least yes. There was one. We also believe there were two women because in the first one, because when
Two
Adam
women?
said, well, this is not in Judaism, but it doesn't appear clearly. But when Adam receives, his wife, when God creates the wife and brings him to Adam, what does he say? What is your translation, or what does he say?
Which part? It's
It is
Genesis. You're talking about
Genesis.
when he created Eve from the rib?
Yeah, from the rib, and then
Okay, hold on.
he
Let's go.
brought Eve. Let's see your translation there.
Okay.
I believe you have the right translation. I believe it's the right translation.
Let me just then the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. Okay, so we'll start at like what Genesis 2:15. Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. Okay, we'll continue reading. And then God said, it is good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. So he making a helper, right? Which is not like I'll make him a few helpers. Out of the ground, the
Exactly.
Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And Adam called each living creature that its name. And then so Adam gave names to cattle, all the birds of the air. But Adam was not found. But it says Adam. Okay, but for Adam, there was not found a helper compatible to him.
That's a wrong translation because the real translation is like for Adam he didn't find. That means Adam didn't find for Adam. That's what it doesn't make it. But go ahead. It's not the point.
Okay, but for Adam there was not a helper compatible to him. Should I check the complete Jewish Bible? It might be easier because it'll probably be more compatible
Well,
with what you're reading.
no, the
It
thing is,
says
the Jewish Bible is also like mistranslated purposely. Believe me,
okay,
it's not.
and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. He
Yes.
took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. Is that part?
Yes. And
And
then
Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She
okay.
shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
And that's why I made a videos on the translator's conspiracy, because the way that the Bible is being translated, not only by the Christian establishment, which is for me the Vatican church, but also by the Jewish establishment, that I don't want you to understand. The real translation, he says in Hebrew, Zot apam etzem yatzami ubasar basari. That means this one, this time is flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. So this is the exact translation. This one, like there was another one, and this time, like there was another time. Now, when you said before that God said, "I'm going to create a help for him," yes, it's one, but doesn't mean that he didn't say that he created two women in the same time. That means at one point he was alone, because before that he wasn't alone. So there is a story before that we know happened, because we can deduct out of one word, two words, how it is written, that it means that there is something else. But it is not developed because it's not that important. But we know there is something else. And at one point in the Bible, later on, in different passages, different stories, we'll understand, the missing parts of, in that story. The the black spot, the shadowy spots in that story, we'll understand them when the time repeats himself and comes back later on. This is how you investigate. That you see, you're gonna find the same situations that repeat themselves, like later on, and you're gonna understand what happened before, where nothing much is written. So this is how it works. But we know that there was somebody else. There was another woman. We don't know, according to the written text at that point. We don't know who she was, what happened, everything. But he says this time, this time is going to be.
The
So
word
he
that they
has not.
use, the word that they
Yeah.
use in the complete Jewish Bible, just so you know, is they say at last, right? Instead of, which would kind
No.
of,
So it's very simple. You have a very
no,
good
no,
dictionary.
no.
In Yeah.
What I mean is, they kind of mean, well, that word would at last would kind of mean like what you said. Like you said, what did you say? You said like finally this one,
Yeah.
like
No, no, it's
that's,
not finally. No, no. You see, this time,
oh, this time, yeah,
hapaam,
yeah. So
hapaam,
that's what
pam
at
means
last. That's kind of what at last would mean, like at last, like saying like
at
instead.
last. At last wouldn't mean the same thing. At
Oh,
last
okay.
will mean, oh, I was waiting so long,
Oh,
for a
okay, okay,
woman,
yeah, yeah.
and now I got one. But here it's apam, that means this time.
This is bone from my bones, flesh from my flesh. She is to be called woman because she was taken out of man. So, is that this
You
is
know
why
to
a
say
man is to leave her father and mother, stick to his wife, and
so.
they were
So
both
so
naked. Okay,
so
go
the
ahead.
thing is not written man over there; it's written ish. It was taken from Adam. She was taken from Ish. So
Uh-huh.
she should be called Isha, which is woman. But then in the Torah, you're going to see many times that the Torah refers to Adam and Ish, his brother.
Hmm.
Adam and Ish, his brother. So there is something
Interesting.
here to tell you that it's from his family. She was taken from his side, his family side. How do I know this? Because when Jacob comes to Lavan, he repeats the same words. He says, "Oh, you are bone of my bone. You're flesh of my flesh." Or,
Uh-huh.
he says the same thing.
It's like
But
you're
Jacob
like
is not his
family.
wife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And
Okay,
this is a
interesting.
way to see it. So that what I'm trying to tell you here, I'm trying to give you like a more adult view of the Torah. You understand? That means that again, in order to understand deeply those things, you need Hebrew, man. And this is the thing that you cannot avoid. You need Hebrew, and if you don't know Hebrew, you can take the word, just copy paste it into a good dictionary, and you're gonna see the true meanings.
Yeah.
Just like crocodiles, you
Do you
never
have a?
translate. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you have a?
No.
Do you have like a good website that to do
Yes,
that?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. A Morphix, Melingo, Melingo, Morphix dictionary, Hebrew English dictionary. It's the
Okay.
most accurate I know. I use it for myself when I don't understand some words. I use it myself. It's very
Okay.
good.
So
It's
it's
excellent.
more okay, cool. I have it pulled up. So all
So
right.
so so when you put apam, you say that word, you're gonna see it's a time, like this time, next time, pam. It's not atlas. Atlas would be in Hebrew, basof. Or in modern Hebrew we say sof, but it wouldn't be in the Torah. But pam, no, pam is that the time. That means that there was another time. Just like God says, you won't cross this Jordan River. Why this? Say you won't cross the Jordan River, but why this Jordan River? That
Uh-huh.
means you will cross another one, or you crossed another one before that. But
Hmm.
this one today, you won't cross it.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is precise. This is the word of God. This is not no joke.
Yeah, I agree. I take it that way too. Sweet. Well, that was kind of good good stuff because I want to see because this I want to see what your interpretation of this stuff is and then also like kind of how you see it as opposed to how I see it and then how Christians would see it or even some Jews would even see it. I think that not all would agree with that there was two in the garden and that's that theory. But like Genesis 6, so when you go to Genesis 6 you're feeling like this is when it says sons of God are basically like the sons of Seth, and then
Well,
the daughters of men would be like the daughters of Cain, and then they basically intermingled, right?
again, it's not just like a feeling because I don't go according to my feelings.
Uh-huh.
When I investigate, first of all, I don't understand something. I say, well, what can it be? Then I investigate, and what I see again, you need like two or three witnesses I told you to establish the fact, so you can see that this matches this, and you can deduct things from what's written, and then to come to one solid conclusion. Then when you get your conclusion or your theory or your idea, then you have to, to test it. And then for that, I use the oral Torah, the rabbis, to say what did they say about it. But that's my bit.
Which
And
is
then also you can use the written Torah to see if it matches everything else that's written about
yep.
that passage. So this is how you do it. It's like it's a long process. It's not like this. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I believe it's like this. It feels. I feel good to believe it's like this. Yeah. If the point is to feel good, there's no problem. But if the point is to understand, and usually when you understand, it doesn't feel good. It
Yeah.
hurts. The truth usually
I
hurts.
know. I know.
It's
Sometimes
not
it's
so.
sometimes
It's
it does. You're right.
it's a pattern of with truth. You know it's true when it hurts, when it destabilizes you, when it makes you angry. You know it's the truth because
Okay.
when it's like sweet, it's usually lies. Yes, go ahead.
So I have so what a lot, not everybody, because a lot of people that are Christian that believe the way that you believe about Genesis 6. Some people would believe like say like Gary Wayne or some of these other people would believe that um that the sons of God, because when sons of God is spoken about, like in Job and in most of the Old Testament, the way I see it, I believe that sons of God means angels. So let's see if this would make sense to you. So let's say a fallen angel comes down, has sex with a woman, and then they bore Nephilim, which would be like giants. Because in the New King James, the King James,
No,
that
no,
word
no.
Nephilim.
It's not written that they were born Nephilim. It is.
Okay,
It is.
so
It is said that at that time there
yeah.
were
Okay,
still
here we go.
Nephilim. But
So
yeah, go ahead.
so the way it's spoken in the New King James, it says, now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them. This is Genesis 6:1, just so you know, because I think that you can follow along in
Go
Hebrew, so
ahead.
that
Go
way to
ahead.
make
I
sure I'm
follow
not
it. Yeah.
butchering anything. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And then it says, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be numbered to 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. There were mighty men who were of old, and men of renown. Is that? Uh
Yeah, that verse is the verse number 4. It can
huh.
be translated like this. Yeah, there were like giants. You can call that giants.
Or
There were
Nephilim?
yeah, there were Nephilims in the earth in these days, and also after these days, after
Uh huh.
this period of time, when the sons of Elohim came and
Came
came
into
towards
right.
to it came into. Yes, it can also say they made. You can say they made because
Yeah.
it's the same word.
Sons
To
of God
came,
made it to the
yeah,
daughters of men,
made it to the daughters of men of Adam, which
and
is
they bore
the
children to them.
one dynasty of mankind, which is the dynasty of Cain. But again, this I have to prove it to you another day. And it was born to them
Hmm.
uh, the strong man, the strong man that for eternity are the
Men
name
of
of
renown.
renown. Yes, but you
Yeah.
see, there is a game here in that word because Hashem in Hebrew is also the name of God.
Uh-huh.
Like this is what we say when we
Oh
say,
yeah. I know
we
what you
say
mean.
Hashem. We say
Yeah,
Hashem, and
mighty.
this,
You could
yeah.
use
So
mighty as like a name of God, and then you can use
exactly,
mighty. Okay, okay.
Hashem in Hebrew means the name.
Uh-huh.
And we use that expression Hashem, the name, or to talk about God, not to use his sacred name. So the thing is that here it's written Anshi, that means men of Hashem.
Uh-huh.
So it's translated men of renown, which is also a good translation, but
Uh-huh.
there's a double meaning here. You see, actually, what I believe it was that great philosophers and great thinkers and great spiritual beings came out of
Oh.
this union, because actually if it's the sons of Elohim, that means they're like themselves very highly spiritual. So they took the daughter of men that are not spiritual, they're most like materialistics, and so what happened is that they came up like physically strong and spiritually also strong. There was a mixture of the both, but not forcibly, for the good cause.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Because
go ahead.
later on in like Genesis 15, Genesis and other parts of the Bible, like God is trying to wipe out the men, women, and children of these tribes, right? That came from this.
I don't know if they are tribes, but the thing is
Okay.
that yeah, just after that, God says that all flesh had corrupted its ways,
Yes.
and this is
Yeah.
and
Then
and this is normal because when you have like the dynasty of priests, dynasty of like holy men that take like women like regular women, and they mate with them, so it's going to start a confusion, a spiritual disorder, and a physical disorder, and a mental disorder, and a
because they're not
moral
equally
disorder,
yoked. They're not
and
equally
then
yoked, right?
homosexuality can come out of this and can
Okay.
spread because this is how
Yeah.
it works.
So this is what our interpretation of this is for me and some people that believe in this. So the sons of God, meaning they're angels, slept with human women. That's what we believe, right? And then that they came into the daughters of men, and then they bore children to them, meaning that the angels having sex with the women is what caused them to become Nephilim or giants, right? And then you keep reading, and then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and every intent and thoughts of his heart were evil continuously, right? So we have that which we just talked about. And the Lord grieved. So and then you come down to where it says Noah pleases God, right? So this is going to be like Genesis 6:9. It says,
Mhm.
this is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, meaning like he's righteous, right? Perfect in his generations. What does that? What does that word mean? Perfect in his
Well,
generations.
so I tell you because this I studied good.
Yeah.
Check it out. The two words that are being written is in Hebrew, tzaddik and tamim. Tzaddik, that means he's just. That means there's no like a heart. There's no like love. It's just like reasoning and calculation and justice and logic. This is what means tzaddik.
Okay.
But then tamim is the opposite. It's just like there is no laws. All you need is love, and just like the main drive for that man was just like love and no laws. So one side, tzaddik means just law and no love, no like compassion, nothing, just law, pure laws, pure reasoning. And then on the other side is like the opposite, like only love and no laws, just like just love, which is at the base of the Christian religion and all the Eastern religions from the Chinese and all these places, like love, love, love. And that the thing is that what happened is that it says in his generations, because he knew two generations, the generation before the flood and the generation after the flood. Those are his generations. So another thing is that we have to understand that in the generation of the flood, he was just, he loved laws and everything, but after the flood, he turned against the laws of God, and he said, you know what? Now forget about it. All the most important is to love each other. Let's love and let's love and love and love. And there is there are scholars, teachers that they say that when Noah came out of the ark and saw all the the dead corpse and the dead bodies all over, and he said, God, how could you kill all these people? How could you do that? And God says, oh, now you're worried about them, but when you were in the ark, you didn't pray for them. You didn't think about praying for them. And that's the end of the comment of the story, meaning that you have to understand that at one point Noah transformed himself from someone that was following the laws very thoroughly to someone that just rejected them at the end. And you
I
understand?
never.
And this
Yeah.
is why out of this came out, Babylon, which is the confusion,
Okay.
and everything is based on love because love, it's like it's attracting. When you say to people, "I love you," it's like wow, it's like giving candies to kids. Kids love candies. So see, love, 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 but love without rules lead to death. This is the thing. Love has to be bound by truth, by laws, and laws by love. That means you cannot be like too strict. You also have to have compassion, a
Mhm.
heart. You have to be human, but you cannot love also too much, because love can lead you only to death. And I give
Mhm.
you an example. Let's say I love a woman so much, I can kill for her, or I can kill her because I love her. You understand? So there is a point where love, if it is not like you know limited by
Like
by
yeah,
by
tamed,
reason,
like
reason you
tamed.
have, yeah, you need love and reason, and reason and love. This is what will lead you to life.
Okay.
But only this and this is not good. But anyways, go ahead.
So okay, so that word perfect in his generations, what does that mean? Because for us, like that believe in this theory, I guess it's a theory because obviously there's two different ways of maybe looking at this.
Oh.
So perfect in his generations would kind of be like perfect in his like DNA, you know,
But it's not the word perfect. The word is it is a wrong translation, totally wrong translation. Word
okay.
perfect in Greek Shalem. The word over there is written Tamim, just the way
Tamim,
Abraham is called Tamim. Yeah, Tamim means like pure, like innocent, like
pure. Pure is a good word
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, pure, but more like pure, like it doesn't have like when he says something, it's like natural. It doesn't
Mhm.
have double thoughts, double language. It doesn't,
Excuse me.
it's like it's natural. It's totally natural. It's like even almost naive. This is Tamim. We say to people that that are naive, or they are Tamim, like they're kind of naive, kind of they have no vice into them.
Complete
This
whole
is more.
entire sound, complete whole entire, complete wait, whole sound, complete entire. Okay. So if with complete entirety according to the truth and fact. So could it be like the way that we would interpret this if you do believe in Genesis 6 being like the sons of God would be like perfect in his generations, meaning Tamim in his like DNA or like his generations, like
Hey, it's possible. I have no problem
the
because
reason why I think that.
I think you're on the right track, because according to my investigations in the Ark, it was like a regeneration of mankind. That
Yeah.
means that yeah, exactly.
So
You're on the right track.
the reason why I think like that is because if the sons of God were angels, let's say, let's put it that way, it just bear with me, and they went into the daughters of men, they bore Nephilim, and let's say that this started the DNA started kind of going.
They
Yeah,
didn't bear Nephilim. They never
okay.
bore Nephilim. They
Oh,
bore the people of Renem. And at that time, there were Nephilim on the earth. Big difference. They didn't make the
where
Nephilim.
do they come from?
They fell from somewhere higher.
So do you believe the Nephilim weren't they weren't this intermingling of what you would say would be Seth and Cain, or what I would say is the sons of God going into the
Well,
daughters of men?
I tell you something. I know one thing. I
They
know
weren't
that the
born from
di
that like that them coming into each other, right? You were saying?
in the Torah, in the Bible, people can live like hundreds of years, sometimes thousands of years,
Yeah.
and it is not like magic. It is not like it is like science. And
Uh-huh.
the thing is that it's possible that these Nephilim do refer to the people that are mentioned in the beginning, like Cain, like the snake, like Adam. Maybe I don't know. Maybe even if he says that he died like in 930 years, on the other side, the dynasty of Cain, it is not written that they died. It's not written that they lived until that age, and then so it can refer to people that were great people at one point. They were like or people that are the most ancient ones, and the one that did fail. They failed God. That they just like rebelled against God. So you can see them as great people that just totally fell. So I don't
Oh,
know. I never really
okay.
investigated at that point. But again, the text is
Do you believe
precise.
that they were? Do you believe that they were like giants though? Like that they were like.
Totally. But I don't know if it's physical. Everybody tends to like make
So
everything
so the.
physical. But it's not maybe physical. You can be a giant, like like in knowledge. You can be a giant in
Oh.
time. I can
What
if I'm
about
like
like Goliath? What about Goliath? Was Goliath like was he giant in stature or was he just giant
uh,
in
uh, uh,
intelligence?
so I tell you something. There is a question of the size over there that is interesting, because we say that David was small and Goliath was a giant, but there is a big problem with that thing, is that we know that Shaul, it is written clearly, was like one head higher than all the people of Israel. That means the
Saul.
highest guy in Israel. Yeah,
Saul.
Saul. So sorry,
Yep. It's
but you
okay.
should learn as well how to say
I
their
just want
names.
people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just want people
But
to understand Saul being King Saul.
I tell you something. If sometimes you want to pray, it doesn't matter on the what name you want to pray. If you want to address to God or pray about something, it's better for you to know the right pronunciation of names, at least if you want to include in your
Yeah.
prayers names, because that's important. That's like vibrates better. But anyways, so
Hmm.
let's say Saul. We know that he was very high. Okay, physically. That's we're not talking about like
Yeah.
spirituality and everything, physically. Now the
Physically
problem is
tall.
that yes, he gave his armor
To
to
David.
David.
Yeah.
So if you believe that David was a short guy, a small guy, that will be totally ridiculous for Saul to give like 4x clothes to a guy that's like extra small. You don't do that. So of course the armor was not comfortable to him, and not because it was big, because it was heavy and he's not used to that. But David was big, just as Shaul was like big. He's not small. It was small because he was young at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
That means it can be
I
small in
understand that.
time, not just small in flesh. Can be small in time, small in knowledge. And Goliath was very high in knowledge. He was very big, and he took all Israel and said, "You know what? Okay, you can look at it like this. That it was a giant. I wanted to fight like physically, but this is not mythology. So the thing is that you understand that David at one point took one stone and put it here in his brains. It came in his forehead, inside his brains. So here you have something that refers to making him understand one thing, and then that one thing that made him understand make him fall, made him fall. So it's another interpretation. I understand, but there are lots of clues that confirm that it was what it was. And me personally, also I believe that Goliath also has a story. He comes from somebody. He has a father. He has a
Sons of
mother.
Anak, like the sons of Anak, like I would believe
Ah,
that. No, some
I don't
people
know.
believe that. Some people
It's
believe that.
possible. Hey, you know what? If you go with the beliefs, everything is possible.
Uh-huh.
And it's so easy to believe so many things in the Bible because it is written in a different language that is
Hmm.
mistranslated, and that is being taken literally into mistranslated translations. So it's very hard to come to the right conclusion with all that data that is like fake at that point. That's why I tell you, you have to learn in Hebrew, and even in Hebrew it's not easy. Even the Jews don't understand. Even the Jews that know Hebrew, that learn the Torah all day long, they don't understand. Well, the point is that it's not their job also to understand. Their job is to keep the Torah, not to understand it. But anyways, it's hard to understand. You have to dig. You have to. And this
Yeah.
is made for that. It is a sharp language made to make you a sharp mind. It is made to form you, to teach you. For example, what is the first word of the Torah translated? The first word of the Torah, it is
Better sheet.
Bereshit. Yeah, how do you
Beginning.
translate?
I would say
No,
beginning.
it's false.
Beginning of time, maybe.
No, it's false. It's a wrong translation. Right up, the first word is wrongly translated. Bereshit, in the beginning in Hebrew, it's Berishona or Betehila. This is a beginning. It's written many times in the Torah. But Bereshit is also written many times in the Torah after that. It doesn't mean in the beginning. It means in the beginning of. In the beginning of. So then you have a problem. You see, if I read that literally, it means in the beginning of God created. So of what? Something is missing. And this is exactly the point. The Torah right away, right up, warns you. Do not read the Torah literally because you won't understand it. You have to dig into it. You have to dive into it in order to understand what's written. So when you dive, you understand what's missing. You understand? But if you read it like this, so you have to change the translation, to make it more comfortable for people to learn that. But it's fake. It's false. It's not in the beginning. It's in the beginning of something that is just happened to disappear. So,
All right.
see, so the thing is like but because also in Judaism and also in the Bible, it's very easy to understand that the world, the earth was not created 5,700 years ago. The earth has like billions of years old. Our cycle of time started like 5,700 years ago.
Yep.
Our civilization started like almost 6,000 years ago at the end of a previous one. You understand? And this is what it means, in the beginning of something that just disappeared. That means that it's like there is something before, but we don't, we can understand what it is by looking later on in the Bible, but it's not mentioned because it is not the point to know what was there before. The point
Can I
is,
ask
yes,
you? Okay, so
go ahead.
I don't see anywhere anybody saying that it means in the beginning of. I want to know. So the
Yeah,
word is not.
I
So the
show you in
word
the
is not
Bible.
actually. So it's not actually better sheet. It's another
No,
word.
no, no, no. The word is Bereshit,
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
in the Torah you're gonna see Bereshit written many times, like 4 or 5 times, to say in the beginning of the kingdom of Tzidkiyahu, in the beginning of
Yes, the
the
first
kingdom
word
of
of the Bible in the
Bereshit.
Hebrew is better sheet, which translates in the beginning.
Yeah, of course. It cannot
In
be in the beginning
English.
of.
In English.
Yes,
Okay,
of course,
so
of
in
course.
so you're saying in Hebrew that means in the beginning of?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the verses so you
Please.
can check it out.
I,
Yeah,
I,
yes.
I would like to check that out because that's very important. I don't believe that the Earth is billions of years old,
Okay,
but
okay.
that
Just
that
go
doesn't
to
mean
go.
I'm right. And there's younger creationists and older creationists, and I know and I've listened to how you break that down. And like I said, and I respect you, Sam. So obviously I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that that's what I believe. But
Me neither. Yeah.
that's maybe because of I have a strong I just have a strong like thing to like not believe in the Big Bang or believe in like billions of years. I have
No,
a
there's no
strong
Big
inclination
Bang.
not to believe that. Yeah, I know there's no
There's
Big Bang. I know
there's
you don't believe in that.
no, you
I
don't understand because if there was a Big Bang, we'll have to understand where is the chemicals that creates the explosion, where it comes
of
from. So
course. I don't think you
it's
believe in that.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just a war against God to make you believe that God
Yes,
didn't create the years. Forget about it. It's
exactly.
just
I agree. I agree.
now the thing is that again, when you say I believe, you have the right to believe, but you have the obligation to check your beliefs in order not to have a wrong belief. You can believe whatever you want. I believe in Santa Claus when I was a kid. Then I understood it wasn't true. You understand? So you can believe in anything you want, but you have to check. But what I do believe now is that since you're a guy that wants to understand the truth, that is working hard for it, somehow it's going to come to you, even though you don't investigate thoroughly. You're gonna fall back on your feet, like we say. That means that at one point you're going to reach the truth, even though without thoroughly investigating or without using Hebrew or whatever. I believe that because you want to understand the truth. But again, at that point also you have to be ready for it. So check it out. I'm going to give you the verses you can check in the Bible that you have.
Okay.
uh Wait a second. So
Hold
you
on.
have the word Bereshit appears in like 3 or 4 times,
Okay.
three or four spots. The first spot I found here is in Jeremiah 49. Jeremy
Jeremiah.
40. Jeremiah. Okay,
Okay. No problem.
Jeremiah 49:34.
Okay. Hold on real quick. Let's go there real quick.
The word Bereshit is written here, and you're going to see that your translation there is correct.
Okay. Hold on. All right. So we're Jeremiah, and which one are we looking at?
49:34.
Okay, Jeremiah 49:34. All right, let's see. All right, so the word of the Lord is 34, right? The word of the
Yeah, yeah.
Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the
Ah,
region
here we
of.
go.
Okay,
In the beginning of the
okay,
kingdom of Tzidkiyahu, because it is
okay.
Bereshit written in Hebrew. There you can check the
Yeah, yeah,
Hebrew
yeah.
text. No, no
Okay.
problem. Now there is another one in
Hold on. Let me do something
that.
real quick here.
Yes, go ahead.
As you're looking for it, go ahead. As you're looking for it, I'm looking at something else. Go ahead.
No problem. I
Jeremiah
got the other one. Whenever
34,
you're ready.
34, and it is, oh, sorry. Jeremiah
It is the word
49:34. I'm just
49:34.
looking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Is the word Bereshit the same exact word that starts the Torah? But here it is in the beginning of. And I can show you where it is written in the beginning only. It's Barishona. It's written also a few times in the Torah, which is a different word. So this is what this is how you understand things.
Okay,
If you want to,
so the way
yeah,
it's
go ahead.
split up, if you look in like a Strong's Concordance, it's in the beginning is Bereshit, okay? And then, dang, and then the of part connects to of the reign, and that would be Malkuth. It's the royalty, royal power, reign, kingdom, sovereign power. So that's the way that it's broken down in like a Strong's Concordance or a concordance. Obviously, that's not God breathed, and I don't believe. But okay, so what they do is they put in the beginning, which is Bereshit, and then when it says of the reign, that's connected as one word, which is Malkuth.
Beginning
So is
of,
that
because
so?
it's grammar. It's
What
grammar
up?
in Hebrew.
What
It's
up?
a grammatical thing.
So is that a what is Malkuth? What is that?
Malchut is kingdom.
Kingdom. Yeah. Okay. So let's read that real quick. the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign, which would be kingdom.
Yes, yeah, the kingdom.
So
Yes,
they split that in the beginning, meaning in the beginning is Bereshit, and then they say of the reign
no,
is a
no,
different word,
no, no. The beginning of is Bereshit, and Malchut is the kingdom.
is the reign.
The rain, yeah, sorry, yeah, no, no,
Okay. No,
not
no,
the
no, no,
rain.
no, no,
I
no,
thought the rain,
no, no,
yeah, the
no.
rain, the
Uh,
kingdom, yeah,
what,
yeah.
what I so that's the way that it's split up in like a
Of course it
if you
is.
look in a concordance. So
Of
what?
course, they cannot lie over there, not lie over there. They're gonna if everything is tied up. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Just like
Okay.
just like the word crocodile, you won't find it in all your Bibles and even in Jewish translations in English. Because for the Goyim, for the non-Jews, and for the ones that are not initiated, they don't want you to know that word is actually being used. Because in the beginning, it's written that God created the great crocodiles, not the
Mm.
sea monsters, not the dragons, not the. This is such a joke. It's crocodiles, and they want to hide that. And at one point, I have a short video I could play, like a few
Yeah.
minutes. But the
There's
thing is that because if you understand that it was crocodiles, so you understand that it places the creation where there are crocodiles in the Nile. So they don't want you to know
so
that.
okay.
Yeah, go
So
ahead, go
so
ahead.
you're saying in Genesis 1, it says in the beginning of
Of
God
yes.
created the in the beginning of God is what is
No, 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 no. In the beginning of a word is missing because of what? Then it's written God, Elohim, which is also Elohim, also in Hebrew. Be careful; it can also refer to a great prophet, because
Oh yeah,
Moses
yeah. Yeah,
is
yeah. A
also
man,
described
an
as
Elohim.
Elohim.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but not
And
just
an
a
angel
regular
too.
man. Like
An angel
uh,
could be
an
described as
angel,
Elohim as well.
a face of God, a different precept of God
Yeah.
also, which is a justice. But anyways, the thing is that again, so there are lots of anomalies in Hebrew. You have a lot of mistakes written. Like for example, you're gonna have words with letters missing, or letters added, and you say that's not Hebrew, but it is the way it is because it is made to indicate you, to teach you something. If the
It,
first word of the Torah is in the beginning of, without the Torah telling you of what, that means you have to understand that something is missing here and you have to fill up that empty space. In the beginning of, God created the earth, the skies and the earth. Of what? So if you ask the question, that's a good start. This is how to get the answer. You understand? But if you translate in the beginning, God, so you have nothing to look for. That's all right. Go ahead, little kid. Go ahead. You
well, you
understand? That's the thing.
yeah.
This is a
Okay, can you give me
and
the other verse that you wanted to talk about,
yes, yes, of course, I'll give it to you right
please?
now. The other verse is yeah, yeah, Jeremiah
Jeremiah.
for
Okay.
yeah, Jeremiah. Sorry, I cannot
It's okay.
get used to it. Jeremiah 28:1
And it happened the same year at the
in the
beginning
big.
of the reign. It's the same exact the
Yeah,
same
exactly,
it's used the
exactly,
same exact way because
exactly. But that's the second time you can see Bereshit, before, besides the first word in the Torah. I'm gonna
is
show
there
you.
more?
Of
Because I want to
course,
see if it's different than because
yeah, yeah.
the way that the Strong's Concordance is going to connect that, it's going to say in the beginning is what better sheet means, and then of the reign is separate. They're going to separate that. I want to
Okay.
see if there's a way that we could see the concordance doing that.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the other two play. I think there's two more
Is
places
it
where you
always
can
of the
see.
reign? I wonder. I wonder if it's
Uh,
always of the reign because
yes, I think it's always of the rain or always
oh
of the
of the kingdom.
kingdom. It's yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's the same. When I investigated, I think I remember that. Wait a second. Okay, so we have uh Jeremiah now 26:1.
Okay, is it the same thing?
It
Is
is
it of
it
the
is about
reign?
the kingdom of Joachim. Now it's a
In the
different guy.
beginning of the reign. It's the same
Exactly.
thing. So that's
Yes.
what a concordance
And
would
and,
do
and
and a lexicon would do is what they would say in the beginning it means or Bereshit means in the beginning, and then what they would say is of the reign is a separate word.
is
That's
okay.
what they're gonna say.
So in order
And
to
I'm not a
understand,
Hebrew speaker at all, so I'm not trying to say
so
like, oh, you're
in
wrong.
order to expose clearly their lie, because it's a lie, so you can take that word malchut and look at it somewhere else. See if they translate it off the kingdom. You want to see to check that word to see how it is
Well,
translated alone,
it
because
can
here it's alone. It's bereshit mamlechet or bereshit malchut bereshit. כן, מלכות וממלכת. So you see that word means of the kingdom. No
Uh-huh.
problem. Let's check it out. And you're going to see that it's not true. Because in that case, they'll have to translate that same word all over the place, of the kingdom, and it's not the case. Let's check. You want to check it out? You want to check it first, see an example? Wherever you want, it's not a big deal. So this is how
Malchut.
you understand things. You have to don't stay on your beliefs. Don't believe what is translated.
Uh-huh.
Don't believe the translations, because they are clearly made for you not to reach a certain understanding. That's how it's been proven already and verified many times. So if you again just make your own investigation, if they say that, double check, and then you'll see that they lie. Then you're going to see what do they lie. You understand? So and also the Jewish translators, not just the Christian ones. Jews and Christians, like kind of like associated, like accomplice in that scheme. So
Mhm.
and I understand that they don't want people to understand the secrets of the Torah. They want to keep us in ignorant. So how can they do? They cannot modify the Torah because we Jews kept it intact for like 4,000 years. So they
Mhm.
cannot change it. They cannot attack it. But they can just mistranslate it. That's of course.
Mhm.
You understand? So you want me to tell you to show you where Malchut is written to see if
Sure.
they
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
translate? Okay. So here
Yeah,
we're gonna see. Uh,
smell.
okay, we're gonna take Yirmiyahu, the last one we said, because there is another one, Yirmiyahu 27
Malkuth, or
1.
it's Malkuth, right? And not Malhut, right? Malkuth, right? Is that how to
Okay,
pronounce it, or am I
okay, no,
tripping?
Malchut. There is no dot in the half, so
Okay,
that's it's a half Malchut.
Malkuth refers
No, no,
to.
no, not Malchut. It's Malchut.
So,
Okay, so I'm going to take that word Malchut.
oh, Malhut. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Also spelled Malhut, which is Malkhut,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Refers to the
Yeah.
Hebrew and Aramaic word for kingdom, reign, or dominion. So it doesn't have to be of
Exactly.
the kingdom. It could just mean kingdom, reign, or dominion.
Of it does mean kingdom, reign of
Yeah,
dominion,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
never of. It never means of the kingdom. This is ridiculous. Of is included into Bereshit because again, in the beginning. Okay, let's check Malchut where it is written again. I have something like 70 results, so
Okay,
I'm going to give you
okay.
one.
Just give me one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see one that is clear.
And
M
even in the Strong's Concordance, it would just say that it means kingdom, dominion, reign, realm, royalty. So yeah, it does say that. And I'm not saying the Strong Concordance is correct either, but yeah, it's not. So it would be like his kingdom is a word you could use, which is Numbers 24:7, right? 1 Samuel 20:31, it would be nor thy kingdom, right?
mhm.
So that doesn't mean of kingdom, but it means thy kingdom, right?
No, of course, this is
And
you
his
can ask
kingdom. Yeah,
any
yeah.
Hebrew-speaking person, any Israeli in the
Uh-huh.
streets, is going to tell you that this is ridiculous. But of course, you cannot, you don't reach that. That's why I tell you, just double check things.
So are they
Don't take
making
nothing for granted. Okay, I'm going to give you the book of Esther.
Esther, okay?
Esther, yeah,
Esther, okay.
3:6.
I'm sorry. Um,
3:6. Esther 3. Esther.
oh yeah, yeah, I see.
Esther 3. Number 6.
Esther 3:6. I see it right there. So it says the whole
The
kingdom
word. Yeah, the whole kingdom. No, it's not written the whole of kingdom. The whole
throughout
kingdom.
the whole kingdom. Okay,
Now
let's
you can check that thing. You can take that word Malchut, copy paste it into that dictionary I told you, and you
uh-huh.
go see it. It doesn't say of Malchut. There's no
Yeah, yeah,
word
yeah.
alone that says of because this is not a right grammatically constructed
So
word. It doesn't
can
work like this.
so Esther three
Yeah,
six, right?
yeah.
So it says so instead of the whole kingdom of is the word of is after. Is that translated correctly?
Wait a second. Wait, I
Esther
just
three
was looking for.
six.
I
No, no
just was
worries,
looking
no
for
worries.
something else, so I lost okay. Again, what did you say?
Um,
What was the question?
so
I'm yeah, yeah.
of is in the English is after the kingdom instead of before it on this.
Oh, so let me see. Let me see. Vaikesh and Aman asked
I just want you to tell me
to
what it is in
to
the Hebrew because I'm not.
okay, and Aman asked to exterminate all the Jews, and I say Jews because he has Yehudim, that means the tribe of Judah, all the Judeans or the Jews, that are in all the kingdom of Achshverosh, the king, the people of Mordechai, people of I don't know how you pronounce his name, people of Mordechai. Mordechai is a Jew that came with Esther, the uncle of Esther. So the thing is that I don't see, but before or after. Vaibes, no, there's no notion of before and after. I don't know where you got that.
Yeah,
You on
so
3:6,
it
3:6?
says, but yeah, 3:6. It says, but he disdained to lay the hands on Mordecai alone for
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
told him the people of Mordecai instead. Haman sought to destroy all the Jews who were throughout the whole kingdom of. So it says throughout the whole kingdom of. So instead of
yeah.
being before, it's actually after.
But because you're talking about the kingdom of
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
Arveros, it's not.
Okay.
So it is like this. There is not a word for off in Hebrew. Off comes with a contraction of words,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
sometimes it is like abstract. Malchut, kingdom. You cannot translate kingdom Solomon, because you're going to say Malchut Solomon. So you translate with you off, because in English
yeah.
you need that
Kingdom
word
of
off. But
to connect.
exactly. Now I'm going to show you
So
the word in the beginning, the real word at the beginning, which is written in the Torah in different places.
okay.
Something like 20 places approximately where it's written. Okay.
So and it's going to be written beginning of instead. Is
No,
that
it's
what
going
you
to be
meant?
written in the beginning. Berishona
Oh,
in
oh,
Hebrew
now we're
is the
going the other
beginning.
way. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So you can go on Bereshit on the Genesis 13:4.
okay. Genesis 13:4. All right, Genesis 13:4. All right. To the place of the altar which he had made there at first, and
Uh,
Abraham called the name of the Lord. Okay.
that's it. Bereshona is at first or in the beginning. This is how you translate Bereshona. It's not in the beginning of. This is the real word to say in the beginning. So if the translation is using in the beginning, it should be written Bereshona and not Bereshit, which is a contracted form between in the beginning and of. It's in the beginning of. This is what it means, Bereshit. And you understand? And there's also like many anagrams there. It's also Beshe'erit, which means in the leftovers. So you can translate
Um,
that also. There's a notion of in the leftovers did God
it's
create
what word
everything,
is Rishon? Reeshone.
Rishon is Ken. Rishon is first. That means
Okay.
first. Yes.
So that's the way that's in a concordance or a lexicon. That word at first, what you're saying is Bereshit. They don't translate it that word. Is
Okay.
that
So
on purpose?
check. No.
Or am I
Rishon.
or am I on the wrong word? I'm sorry.
No. No. Barishona. You need to from the to read bet resh aleph.
Which part would be that word? At first? At the first?
Yeah, because it's in be in Hebrew. Ba, it means in. So in the beginning. Rishona, it's at first, when the beginning, you can translate it the way
Oh.
you want.
So
And
so the
and and this, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not so for some reason the like the lexicons of strong concordance doesn't they don't call that word Bereshit. They call it Rishon, Reeshone, instead of
Well,
Bereshit.
I don't understand. What are you looking for? You looking for Bereshit
You
or
said
Berishona?
I'm looking for well, I'm looking for what you were talking about there in Genesis 13:4, where you said, unto the
Yeah,
place of the altar which he had made there at the
yes.
first, which means that means
At first,
Bereshit.
at first. No, it's written Berishona here in Hebrew, not Bereshit.
Oh, it's actually
It's
not even. It's not written. It's not even called that. In if I look up the Strong Concordance, which is interesting, which that's why
uh,
it's good to know this stuff. So it's actually
well, so
called Rashon, which is first, primary, former,
no,
and
no, no,
former things.
no. Berishona comes from the word Rishon, but it's not Rishon.
Okay.
Rishon is first. Harishon means the first,
Yeah.
but Barishona means at first or in the beginning.
Oh, interesting.
There is also
Okay.
another word that is beterila. Also, terila, leatril means to commence, in the commencement. So there's another word that can be used to say in the beginning or in the commencement, but
Mm.
not bereshit.
Okay.
but the shit is in the beginning off. And
All right.
again, it's a subtlety,
Yes.
anomaly to make to make you
Wow.
think.
All right. Well, interesting. I think we're coming up on 2 hours, bro. So I know
Oh,
what I
really?
don't
Wow.
want to happen, Sam, is I don't want us to be talking and then all of a sudden my kids come down and they end up in the picture like they always do.
Well,
So
they can come and learn too. What's the problem?
yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
So
kidding.
the only problem is they'll start being loud and then we can't concentrate.
Yeah,
So
I know what
all
you
right.
mean. I know.
So we'll have to do another show again because obviously there's some more stuff we could go over. But I don't know. I enjoyed this. I don't know about you, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoyed this.
I love to listen to you guys. I have like another WhatsApp call. So
Yeah, this
I
was
love to listen
fun,
to it
bro.
because I tell you something. Don't believe it. I'm learning from you. I'm learning a lot from you guys. And I love the Flazoid show also when he talks about because I'm trying also to detect within your beliefs, with your books and your interpretations, things that I might not see myself because I don't have the same
Well,
frame of mind. So I know that the truth is spread all over the place. It's not, you know, I believe as a Jew that the concentration, the basic of the truth is in the Torah. But I believe that lots of that truth was taken and was used, and somehow we have to retrieve it. So there's a lot of things I'm learning from you guys also,
yeah.
and it's very
So
very
I'll
interesting.
I'll go over it real quick before we go. So Jude 1, which is actually in the New Testament, which you said yeah, you don't mind like actually
No,
learning
no,
from.
of course, of
So
course.
it says this is talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, which is interesting. But I want to remind you, this is Jude 1 5. But I want to remind you, though you once knew this, that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed those who did not believe, and the angels who did not keep their first or their proper domain, but left their own abode. He has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. As Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around them, in similar matter of these, having given themselves over to sexual immorality and gone after strange flesh, are set forth at the example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. So that is interesting because it is talking about Jude is talking about how there was sexual immorality going on,
Of
and
course.
they were going after strange flesh. Which some people would say, well, strange flesh just means that they were sodomites. Well, the whole reason why I kind of came up with that whole thing, I think they were going after something more there besides just strange flesh. But
Well, the next step after sexual disorder, the next step after homosexuality is like zoophilia.
bestiality,
Yeah, you just go with
yeah.
animals. That's the next step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So interesting stuff. But anyways, yeah. So I think I had fun talking to you, bro. I think we kind of covered a lot of things and kind of
Yeah, that was cool. 2 hours went by. It's like crazy.
like
Wow,
like nothing, bro.
like
Honestly,
nothing.
it went fast. So
That's
I
it. That's
appreciate you,
good.
man. So thank
Me
you.
too. Me too.
Shout out your show and everything so people can get a hold of you, and we'll have to meet again for a discussion because I thought this was really fun, man. I enjoyed it.
It was great. It was great pleasure. Great pleasure.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
All right,
Take care.
everybody that's listening, just you guys could go to Sam's YouTube. Shout out your YouTube, please.
It's Flat Earth Reconnaissance.
Okay.
This is the site, and go
I'll
ahead.
leave it
You're
below.
welcome.
I'll leave it below, okay, guys. And
No
then also
problem.
those that are listening on audio, yeah, we didn't really pull up the Bible. We were just talking, so you're not really missing much. So you don't really have to go to the YouTube. But yeah, it was definitely a fun discussion. I really appreciate it. Everybody
Me
that's
too. Me too.
listening, I appreciate everybody that comments. That if you guys could share the show. We just hit 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, but as you see, my views are still low because people, I'm growing up with so many different subjects and stuff that some people are into the Bible study. Some people might be more into conspiracies. But if you guys could, please tune into the show. Please share the show. I need the likes and everything so that we can get through the algorithm. I really appreciate everybody that listening. I really, and like I always do, I like to end this in prayer. Now, one thing is, Sam, I don't want you to be offended, but I do pray in the name of Jesus, right? So
You can
obviously that's
do
going to
whatever
happen.
you.
But I
Go
am
ahead.
praying to Yahweh, right? So
No, no problem.
all right.
Go
So,
ahead.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we appreciate everything you do. Thank you for allowing me and Sam to be able to speak about your word, Lord, because obviously it's very important to me and it's also very important to Sam. And Lord, I appreciate everything you do for us, Lord. I really do. Thank you for the water that we drink and the food that we eat. And thank you for this time. And thank you for introducing me to Sam. We've had two discussions now that I think are important. For me, I think it's important for Sam to kind of know my view, and then for me to know Sam's view. And Lord, I'm just really trying to dissect your word and do my very best. And I think it's good to get somebody that speaks the original language so that I can kind of have different interpretations and of the way that he would see your scripture and the way that I would see it, Lord, and kind of come to our conclusion. But if I'm teaching anything wrong, Lord, please assist me to study more to make sure that study to show myself approved. That way I know that I'm teaching the correct way. But Lord, I just want to pray for Sam's safety. I know that there's been a lot of turmoil over in the Middle East and over in Israel, and I just want to pray for Sam's safety and also his family. And I also want to pray that you assist Sam in when he's teaching and when he's learning to make sure he's teaching the right way as well. Thank you, Lord, for everything you do. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for listening. And me and Sam had a really great conversation. Really appreciate you guys. Like I said, share the show and also check out his show. God bless you guys.